The red and blue lights flickered in my rear VYEW mirror, not from a proper cruiser, but from some tacky party strobes duct taped to the roof of a candy apple red golf cart. A guy in what looked like a knockoff security guard costume, think Spirit Halloween clearance rack, was while VYing a clipboard like he was about to arrest me for treason. "Pull over, saw now, saw," he bellowed, his voice dripping with the kind of bravado that only comes from someone who's never been decked. I might have chuckled, and yeah, I did, until he reached for a pair of zip ties dangling from his belt like he was about to slap cuffs on me. That's when I leaned over, popped open my glove box, and flashed my badge at his face with a grin. "You just tried to detain the county sheriff, pal," I said, letting the words hang. "Nice job, genius." It was a slow Tuesday afternoon, the kind where my biggest worry was picking between an iced latte or a quick nap. I'm Sheriff Tom Hayes, but that day I was just Tom, cruising in my beat-up Toyota Corolla, rocking cargo shorts and a faded Lincoln Park tee. Off-duty, blending in like any other suburban schlub. No paperwork, no radio chatter, just me, and some early 2000s rock blaring through tinny speakers. Then this HOA wannabe cop rolled up like he was starring in a low-budget Mad Max sequel. He came out of nowhere, blowing through a stop sign like his golf cart ran on pure spite. The strobes hit my mirror first, flashing like a Vegas nightclub. I thought some kid was pranking me, but not his dude, mid-40s cargo pants, knockoff Ray-Bans, clutching that clipboard like it was the Holy Grail, meant business. He pointed to the curb. "Pull over, saw right now, saw." I was half tempted to floor it just to see if he'd chase me to the CVS parking lot, but curiosity won out. I eased over next to a fire hydrant, ironic, since that's apparently a cardinal sin in Willow Grove Estates. This guy strutted up to my window like he was auditioning for Saw CSI, Suburbia Saw. He squinted, lowered his clipboard, and growled in the deepest voice he could muster. "Do you know why I pulled you over?" I couldn't resist. "Because your meds ran out?" He didn't crack a smile. Instead, he tapped a laminated card pinned to his chest. "I'm Officer Greg with the Willow Grove Homeowners Authority. You're in violation of multiple codes, excessive bumper rust, and non-compliant window tint." I stared at him. "You're ticketing me for saw rust, saw?" His eyes narrowed. "Your sarcasm isn't helping, sir. I need your license, HOA compliance papers, and a record of your lawn treatments from the last 60 days. I blinked. "My saw what saw?" "Lawn treatments," he snapped. "Unregistered fertilizers are a Class 3 ecological disruption under our bylaws." I was torn between playing dumb or shutting this clown show down, but his performance was so absurdly entertaining, I let it ride. "You got jurisdiction off the sidewalks now?" I asked, pretending to fumble for my wallet. He puffed up. "Willow Grove regulations state that any violations sible from the road can be enforced by HOA safety officers. That includes saw you saw." He was about to order me out of the car when I saw the zip ties. That's when the joke stopped being funny. This wasn't just some guy playing dress-up, thought he had real power. I reached into my glove box, pulled out my badge holder, and let it snap open in the sunlight. His jaw dropped mid-sentence. "What the hell is this?" he stammered. "That's a badge," I said coolly. "Sheriff Tom Hayes, Lincoln County. And you just tried to detain a law enforcement officer under false authority. That's a felony, my friend." His face went white, like someone yanked the plug on his ego. He mumbled something, then bolted to his cart and peeled out at a blistering 12 miles an hour. I could have let it go, chalked it up to a midlife crisis with a side of delusions, but something fell off. The uniform was cheap, sure, but the patches were too detailed, the radio on his hip wasn't a toy, and that laminated card had a seal I didn't recognize. This wasn't a one-man cosplay. It was organized. Back at the station, I pulled my dash cam footage and froze on the insignia. Willow Grove Estates saw, authority saw, not association. That word, authority, screamed trouble. Later that night, my phone lit up with voicemails from residents. An elderly woman said an HOA officer fined her doula $800 for too many lawn gnomes, threatening to come back with bolt cutters. Another guy claimed his fence was confiscated. A woman swore someone swapped her garden hose for an HOA-approved one and billed her due law $150 for the upgrade. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, the pieces clicking together. This wasn't just an overzealous HOA. It was a system, coordinated, pretending to be the law. And I was about to remind them who the real law was. The next morning, a sharp knock on my door woke me. Not a neighborly tap, but the kind that says, "We're in charge." Through the peephole, I saw a teenager in a neon vest, tapping a tablet like he just caught me jaywalking. He slapped a citation on my doorknob and left. The slip read, "Non-compliant mailbox spacing, DULAW 125. Violation code 5.2. This was personal now. I hadn't moved to Willow Grove to be spied. Oni was the one supposed to keep things in check. I tossed the slip in the trash and started digging. The HOA's weekly meeting was that night, so I slipped on glasses, tucked my badge in my sock, and walked into their clubhouse like I was just another resident. The room reeked of lemon polish and quiet rage. The president, a woman named Karen with a smile sharper than a switchblade, greeted everyone with a chirpy menace that made my skin crawl. I sat in the back, flipping through a recycling pamphlet, while a woman whispered about being fined for excessive inflatable pumpkins. One by one, residents aired grievances: charcoal grills, unapproved tree spacing, backyard trespassing by HOA inspectors. Each time, the board spouted nonsense about harmony and standards. Then I heard it. "We'll escalate that to Code 77A. My ears perked up. Code 77A wasn't in their public rulebook. After the meeting, I lingered, eavesdropping as two board members mentioned Director Y and full compliance action. This wasn't about Launce, it was something darker. I needed an insider, so I called Maggie, a former HOA secretary who'd quit after they fined her for unapproved curtains. We met at a diner, her eyes darting to the door every few seconds. When I mentioned Code 77A and Director Y, she dropped her spoon. "You weren't supposed to hear that," she whispered. "It's internal. It means someone's a liability, someone who might talk or fight back. They send a compliance team to erase them, force them out, ruin their jobs, their lives. Sometimes they just vanish." She slid me a flash drive. Rosters, routes, memos. "Look at midnight plans." I drove home, my mind racing. The drive revealed plans to expand HOA control to nearby towns, policing everything from political VYUs to internet history. This wasn't an HOA, it was a suburban dictatorship. I set a trap. I painted my mailbox neon green, left trash bins out early, stuck a plastic flamingo in my yard, and set up a gnome rave scene with tiny strobes. By dusk, 5 golf carts rolled up, fake sirens blaring, body cams strapped to their chests. "Step outside," one barked over a loudspeaker. I strolled onto my porch, casual as could be. Which one's the problem? The flamingo or the gnomes? They weren't amused. One reached for zip ties, and I tapped my phone, streaming their every move to a secure cloud and the county prosecutor's private channel. "You're impersonating law enforcement and attempting to detain a citizen," I said, loud and clear. "That's 2 felonies." Their leader froze, doubt creeping in. I pointed to my badge and gun on the table inside. "Test me." They backed off, tires squealing as they fled. That night, my doorbell rang at 11:42 p.m. No one was there, just an envelope with a typed note. "Back off, Sheriff. This isn't your fight." I knew who it was. The next morning, I dug into town records and found 4 of the 7 HOA board members were appointed by Mayor Evelyn Carter's mother-in-law. The woman who once nagged me for using paper plates at Christmas had built this machine. I called in Felix, a cybersecurity buddy, who traced Director Y's memos to a server tied to Evelyn's discretionary fund. Director Y was Evelyn. At a private town hall dinner, I confronted her. She didn't flinch, just smirked. "This town needs order," she said. "Crime's down, property values are up. You think your badge makes you righteous? You're alone, Tom." I shot back. "We'll see what happens when the sheriff charges the mayor." For the first time, she hesitated. I held a press conference, laying it all bare. The surveillance, the threats, Evelyn's shadow government. The crowd cheered, fear melting away. That night, my power cut out. I saw a sleek vehicle parked nearby. Evelyn stepped out, no smile, just venom. "You built a prison," I said. "You lost." She laughed. "They'll beg for control again." Troopers cuffed her as she sneered. "You're only sheriff until they say otherwise." The HOA was dissolved in a landslide vote. Residents partied, gnomes and all, but I stayed wary. One night, a thumb drive slid under my station door. It showed a new HOA group planning Phase 2. I smiled. Let them try. This town didn't need a ruler, it had me. What do you think? Was Evelyn just a control freak? Or was she onto something about chaos? Should Tom have burned it all down sooner? Or was his slow play the only way? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more stories that'll keep you up at night.